Hello, it's Icy back again with more reference material for Homestead, the update for Elder Scrolls Online. And today we are talking about something that is my own particular passion, pottery. Yes, pottery. We're going to be looking at pots. Now, you may be going, why does she have a thing about pottery? I just do, okay? Look, in the game, there is lots of room around your house. You need to fill that house with different things so your house looks interesting. Now, in the same with my own house, pottery, beautiful pots, are one thing that you can do that with. And Elder Scrolls Online has lots of really lovely pots. So I'm going to show you a few. But obviously in this little section here, I just want to show you the wine glass as well, because for some reason this is not with the rest of the cutlery. I don't know why. We'll just pop this over here with the rest of it. Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? And it matches the bottle perfectly. I need the Welven wine glass, definitely. Alright, let's look at some pots here. Alright, now there is, oh my gosh, there is a teapot. I didn't know there was a teapot. I need a teapot for my house. Oh my gosh, I need a teapot for my house. Look at that. There's a teapot. There are no teacups. Zos, if anybody ever watches this from Zos, you need to get on that. Teacups, please. And saucers. Very important. The only other thing I've ever found that is approaching that is there is a Argonian ritual pot, which maybe that's under, is it under here? Might be under Undercroft somewhere. Oh, come back to it. That is teapot shaped. So let's keep, where are we? No, here, hearth. Looking at pottery. Where were we? Drinkware. Okay, let's have a look at a few of these. Why these are all drinkware, I have no idea. Now, I am going to buy some of these because they're a little bit hard to see. Now, I will say, from a aesthetic point of view, the Wood Elf pottery is actually very nice. It's, as you can see, this one over here, which is from before, which is basically the same shape, but sort of without this, presumably that's meant to be like a handle or something, I don't know, is very, very attractive, especially, and this one as well, this is one of the Wood Elf cups, almost Japanese in aesthetic, that kind of very simple, slight decorations, Wood Elf stuff in the pottery, gorgeous. So let's have a look at a few other things. Now this one here, this one is called chipped for some reason. This is quite tall. This is probably about a character's arm, half an arm length, so from elbow to wrist, roughly. I'm not going to buy all of them because I will run out of gold again. But that looks fantastic as a decoration sitting on a bench. Okay, a picture marked. Okay, so the same as the ceramic one, just with some very nice design. And we also have a picture painted. So we'll get by this one. See what this one's like. Oh, that one's huge. Okay, that's actually, I think, probably larger than the one I thought was, you know, elbow to wrist size. That's quite big. I don't think that one's quite as nice as this chipped one. This chipped one, you might look at that and think that's weird. It looks good. It looks really elegant. It really does. It's very interesting. All right, let's take a look at pottery. Now, there are lots of pottery recipes. They are not currently cheap enough to necessarily buy all of them unless you've got a thing for pottery, like I do. But even I am looking for cheaper versions, like cheaper recipes to make. Not many people are making pots as decorations for people to buy because, well, you know, it's a fairly specialized interest, shall we say. But I will say, do consider pots when you are decorating your house. Okay, so this is the Breton Amphora, which is actually very attractive. In game, it's got a very nice stone type of colouring. It's good. You will need lots of flour to make these, by the way. I think pretty much all of the pots, most of the stuff under the hearth section needs flour to craft it as well, so do stock up on your flour. Alright, so we've got a Breton amphora. Now this is quite big. So this one is about that sort of wrist to elbow size. This one I think is probably floor based. Let's have a look. Yeah, like that's, wow. Okay, yeah, so that's great for a floor. The other thing you can do with some of these really, really big pots is they actually kind of make a nice, like a tree planter. If you've got some of the saplings, sticking them in a pot looks really great. But in my opinion, they look great just on their own. Okay, so we've got a lid to go in that pot. Meh, I wouldn't buy it, but you know, if you found it and could craft it, maybe. Alright, we've got an urn glazed. So this looks to be a very similar, I wonder if it's the same. And we've got an urn striated. Now this is definitely metal, this one. I've seen this in game, in world. It's much shorter. It would make a good vase, or possibly fill it with some fruit if you didn't like it on its own for its own appearance. Okay, dark elf pot banded. Look, I will say from my personal opinion, the dark elf pots are not as successful as the other racial types. Look, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's a bit, yeah, look good with a plant in it, maybe. This one's probably the most. Oh, let's get this one out. Actually, let's place this one. Let's see what this looks like. Look, it's not bad. It's too big for a feature on a side table, and maybe it's not tall enough to go on the ground, and because of its shape you can't match it with other similar, like other round pots to have like a group of 3 with an interesting effect. So for me, the dark elf stuff not super working. Okay, so we have a high elf pot hanging. Look, if you've got a high elf styled house, that would be very nice with some plants in it. That'd be great. You could also put a couple of candles in to sort of make have the light shining out the top. That would make a nice lighting effect. The Khajiiti ones are very distinct in colour. Like 1 or 2 is probably fine. You've got a couple of different sizes. The carafe, the decanter, which is slightly shorter. Alright, we've got the Nord amphora glazed. Let's get that one, see what that one's like. Okay, so that's also, okay, I would call that medium. Yeah, that's quite nice. So it's, because it's quite slender, it would work well enough on a table as a presentation item, but also good on the ground in an arrangement. Okay, so the Nord Pock ceramics, these ones are very nice as well. The color is a nice orangey terracotta, maybe more heading to yellow, but very good. And these recipes are quite easy to find. Oh, a braided one, that's very attractive. Oh, I haven't seen that. And this ceramic one, which is taller. Now all of these are fairly, actually may as well buy one. This is the taller one to give you an idea of size. These are actually not that big. The other one is shorter but stouter. So, but they look nice in an arrangement with other things. Also they make a great vase because they're tall enough to have the flowers sitting at the right spot, but without the stalks of the flowers sticking out below the table. Okay, so we have the orcish canisters. Okay, so the rugged one, so very stone-like, and it's quite nice. Okay, so the orcish capsule sealed. I don't know why it's got a little block at the bottom. That's quite strange. Look, if you could find the recipe, it would be worthwhile making. Probably not really worth buying it necessarily. Okay, an orcish cask rugged. Ooh. I want to buy that. How big is that? Oh! It's actually massive. Wow, that's actually physically a lot larger than I thought it would be. Okay, interesting. Okay, and then we've got the orcish urn ceramic, which is actually very attractive. That's nice. I do wish you could spin vertically, not just sideways in here. Now there's one missing in here, the orcish ones, which I'm sure is on the live server. It's about this size, but it's a the sides are smoother and there's a bit of a decoration around the edge. That's definitely a green one. Alright, so we've got the orcish urn sealed. Yeah, it's fine. That one's quite nice with the handles. I like that one. So that's the orcish vessel sealed. Alright, went to the Redguard. A Redguard amphora gilded. Look. Oh, let's buy it because I think I'd want to see that before I would decide whether I wanted to spend money on that or not. It's, wow, it's really gold. It's not the most elegant of shapes. It's a little too jug-eared. I mean, I know it's a jug. And the handles kind of make ears, but it's not working for me. Alright, so we've got the Redguard amphora polished. Now that's very elegant. I think that's much more, let's buy that one. I think that one's much more bronze. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's lovely. More bronze than gold. So that would look fantastic in an arrangement with others. See that one, I think it would look overdone if it was just on its own, but like for example with the Breton, we've got similar shapes with the handles, but you've got different textures. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's get this red one, this dark elf one out of the way. Sorry about that dark elf one. Off you go, over there. And you might pull in also, oh, one? No, colours don't work. Probably would pull in this one. Not bad. You want a slightly more height, I think, or maybe more width. But you get the idea that you can pick 3 pots of different styles to have them together to really make a feature. These work great in the garden, by the way. Alright, we have the hanging star bowl. Now these are very, very nice, and I like these very, very much. As you can see, they are in fact very, very beautiful, and they look fantastic with a plant hanging in them, or with lights as well, like some candles set on the inside. They look beautiful. Oh, these are stunning. Do I want to use the money now? Oh, and we've got the Oasis one. Look, I'll use one. Actually, yeah, okay, I'll use one. So, you can see these in world, in and around amongst Hughesbane, both of these sorts, and they are simply gorgeous. And once again, I wouldn't really pay for a purple recipe, because as much as I like them, maybe not. Okay, so these Redguard pots capped are huge. They are at least shoulder height. You will see them around Hughesbane as well. They look really impressive. They look fantastic and great in a garden. They are that lovely rich colour as well. Alright, so the Redguard pot ceramic. Now these are also very nice. You will see these in the Sleek Creek videos. So you've got a couple of different styles of this. You've got a rounder one, and the others are, so you've got this one, which is quite tall, once again about shoulder height, and then there's one more which for some reason is in a different section. We'll get to that later. Okay, so we have the hanging pot brushed. Now this is actually, as you can see, is actually pottery rather than anything else. It has quite a short chain. I have a feeling it looks different in the main game. I think there's a longer chain on it, and it looks more metallic, unless I'm mistaken. But the shape is very nice. Alright, we have a garish one. Let's look at the garish one. It'll be alright with the money. Okay, so looking at that, it's very similar to the starred one, but without the stars. And as the star one is a blue recipe, where the garish one is a purple, I'd be going for the blue one. Oh, and oh, okay, I gotta show you this one because it is gorgeous, the mosaic one. I really like so very much. And there is also, as you can see, a pot as well that's mosaic. It is one of my very favorite things. You can see this in Craglawn, in the observatory up the hill. There's a dagger sitting in one. I would very much like this recipe as well, personally. I would have these outside with flowers planting in them. I would also have them... You can sink it into a bench and makes gorgeous sort of wash bowl. But yeah, I really like these ones. Oh, jumping back here, the Redguard pot lacquered. You can see these ones similar to these, different colour scheme, and with some snakes and stuff on it. Not bad, not bad. Okay, this is the pot sealed. It's very similar to the one above. It's just slightly broader and not quite as tall. The spittoon gilded. I mean, it's quite nice, and I would use it as a vase if it wasn't called a spittoon. Anyway, okay, so that's the same as that one, just gilded. And honestly, I think that's probably over the top. It's very much. I mean, it's shoulder height. Shoulder height golden vase. Might work in some houses, but too much for me. Okay, so these are the wood elf ones. As you can see, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. It's really very stunning. So it's the deer. The scratched, I have the pattern for in the live game. I need to get hold of the deer one. This is the tiered ceramic, which I think, and the tiered painted, which I think would look good in an arrangement with other things. They're quite a distinctive shape, and I'm not sure totally the actual shape itself works, but you know, that's a personal thing. So that's all the pottery. Now the other place that you will find pottery is, for some reason, down in the undercroft. We have in the urn section. Okay, so this is the Argonian clawed basin. I'm curious as to how big that is. Let's just place that. Oh, look, that's okay. That's actually quite nice. Oh yeah, I don't mind that at all. That's okay. Alright, we have the Breton urn lid striated. Oh, so that goes on the Breton urn striated that was there previously. Okay, so we have a gilded version of the Redguard jars we looked at previously. Quite nice. Please excuse the beeping in the background. I can't turn that off right this second. Another Khajiiti urn in a different shape. An Orcish cauldron sealed. Oh, it looks quite good. Ah, this is the one I've got. I've got this Orcish vessel sealed. As you can see, that's actually very attractive. I like it. Slightly smoother, nice carved design, the lid on top, it's good. And here's the other Redguard urn. Not quite as tall. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, is this not magnificent? And I really want this one. So at some point I'll grab it. And the urn star, which is the same style as the hanging basket, but in a, you know, one you can put on the ground. And that does, I have used that in the Sleek Creek one to put flowers in, and it looks lovely. Now I think that it? That might be it. I think that might be it. Okay, here we go. A few more. We've got the Argonian ritual pot here, which is under sacred pieces, which is also quite nice and will look great on a bench. You can see these in the Argonian house in the city in Cold Harbour, for when you've, you know, finished that part of the quest line. And yeah, don't know. I know there's one more. Oh, the basins are probably count under here as well. Alright. Argonian relic basin, which is actually... Well, actually that's the thing that has the fire from it if in the Argonian way shrines. Oh, the dark elf basin ringed, which is perfect as a bath in a house. Yes, it's a sacred bath. It's sacred, but you know, baths are sacred too. The high elf basin gilded, which also makes a great sink, which is what I use it for. The basin standing, which also makes a good sink too, if you don't want to have something for it to sit on top of. The winged one is very nice, but very specifically high elf, so you'd really need the house to match it. But if you have a high elf house, I think this would look fantastic. Wow. The Imperial Basin Heavy. Look, I think you could probably do really interesting things with that in a garden. Oh, great bird bath. If you could put water in it. The basin stone. Oh look, that one's better, honestly. That one is not quite so heavy. The Khajiit claw basin, look, it's very over the top. It would look great, in my opinion, without these claws on the side. It would look fantastic, but it's very strongly red guard. We have the red guard cauldron, which looks pretty much the same as the Argonian one. It's just in gold. The wood elf basin stone, which is very rugged, but I think it could have a good use in a garden somewhere. Oh, it would look nice as sort of an inset flower pot in the garden with flowers all around, and that is another layer with more flowers on top. I will think about that. So, that's pretty much, just checking quickly, all of the pots. And I think, just very quickly, yeah, these don't really fit in anywhere else, so we'll just squeeze these in. These are the sensors. So these are active in game and they just let smoke out, and they're very pretty. It's probably not worth spending money on them unless they're absolutely demanded for your house, but it's a nice extra if you've already got it. So that's the Argonian. The Dark Elf is really very perfect in your, you know, your Daedric dungeon. I think would look fantastic, as the Thurigible as well would look great in your little Daedric under spot. Okay, so the red guard sensors are quite nice. So it's a hanging bell, hanging bulb, also quite nice, hanging disc, hanging horn, and a wood elf one, which is quite plain and kind of looks like a bucket on a string. So now all of these are purple recipes. They do cost, I found one of these ones, I can't remember which one, I think it might be the disc, and I've made it, and it's fine. It's not very big, you know, like in real life maybe it'd only be about this big, and it cost a lot of materials to make. Are they worthwhile? Yeah, probably not. So anyway, that's about it. So this is all the pots, the pottery, the containers. Do get some for your house. They really add to the way your house looks. I like to put them in sort of groups of 3, or a really nice one as a feature. Matched ones, either some tables, all that sort of stuff. It just adds life to a table, life to a house. Even though it's a game, you can add life to it. Why not? Anyway, let me know which one you liked best. Which one are you going to go out and look for if you can? Please do give us a thumbs up if you liked this video, to share it and help grow the channel. Thank you. And please do subscribe for more updates. There still is some more Homestead content coming. There's some other bits and pieces. I will do more live stuff. Eventually, we'll get to Morrowind, and then there'll be huge amounts of new content coming. But thank you everybody who's been watching, and thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.